what you did with that, and I'm okay. I
Yeah,
don't love it, but I can tolerate it when you go to
that's
that
fine.
length. When you say I
Uh,
need to go all the way, that looks like AJ,
yeah.
because AJ is part of the table one pairing, but AJ is going to be moving soon enough. So we'll get this corrected. So
You want to message him on like Discord or something and be like, get the heck off the table?
it looks like we got Scott and Ryan coming over now. They're already kicking him out.
Good.
That's
Not that we don't like AJ. I just really want to see what Scott Lingrell is doing with his dark side deck.
no, for sure. This was this table or the Matt Lutz versus Brian Avery. Getting Frodo Light would have been nice. Those were
Yeah,
the two for this
yeah,
round. I was like, yeah, one of these is going on.
yeah. I
So
agree.
I'm all right with it going this way. We'll see where it we'll
And I
see
want to
where
say
this goes.
Kendall is probably somewhere smiling because we have Court of the Vile Gangster on stream. Kendall's
I'm and in an opaque sleeve because Scott says I'm never flipping this objective.
there's a seven side of the objective.
I don't know what it says, but there is a seven side of the objective.
What is the seven side of the objective?
I think it's I'll enjoy watching you die
Uh,
or something similar to that.
First person in the chat who can tell us what the seven side of the objective says and the name will get a
Oh,
prize.
what it says. God, it's
I
I
want the
think
exact
it's
text. No, no, not you. You can't
okay.
do it.
I'm doing it off memory though. Like I want a little bit of credit that I think it does
You can
something
have it
with
off of. You can do it off of your
retrieving.
memory. You
It
know what?
has
How about this,
some sort of
Garrett?
retrieval with
Garrett,
creatures.
open up a Word tab or something like a notepad or something. Put it into that. I want it from your memory. See how close you are compared to the people who enter in the chat. So again, first person in the chat who can name what the seven side of the court objective is and what it does will win a prize. And I noticed that Scott is hiding his objective because he's like, it's just the object. It's literally just letting me put stuff on this. Okay, Charlie with the name, as close as you can get. I don't need it to be word for word. And I will be pulling it up on my Android app. If you do have an Android phone, go ahead and download the Comlink app. It is one easy way to find yourself what a card text does. Jar
Well,
Jar Drink says it makes your bounty hunters forfeit -2.
I don't think it does that. I don't know. I sent you a PM of the stuff I think it does, and we'll see how close I am.
And okay, so Charlie has the name correct. JJD, I'm sorry, you are incorrect.
How terrible would that be as a flip side when the zero side makes them +2, and how bad their forfeits were pre PC? When
Right?
most of the bounty hunters were like
Okay.
deploy 4, forfeit 3. Like now they're forfeit
Eric, you're
1.
close. You're missing one. Uh, Garrett, you're close too. However, you're kind of wrong.
Oh well, fair enough.
You have one part of that correct.
All right. Or it's not immune to sense. It changes when you can do it.
No,
There's some part of it that involves trapdoor.
uh, Charlie, you're correct. So that part is correct.
Yeah, that's the part I knew. Retrieve for
Yeah.
eating, I knew. So
Eric, you're like 2 out of 3 on yours. So we have Yoda Community starting Jedi Business, Walkling, and Squadron Assignments versus Scott Lingrell playing the
part of the vile musicians, it looks like.
Court of the Vile Musicians going with Power of the Hutt, Jabba's Haven, and the War
Nagak.
Beast.
Yeah. The you can't sorry about the mess guys out. That's big actually. In
Yeah.
this matchup, that's really,
Oh yeah.
really important for him.
Yep, Eric. Uh Yeah, you know what, Eric, you are close enough that I'll give it to you. So
So
Court of
Ryan's
the
showing
Vile
off his
Gangster.
hand, and it is shockingly all black border.
I know
I'm
I'm a
honestly a
little
little
depressed about
offended.
that.
I feel like he just maybe, he doesn't love us enough to do something to try and go all the way with it. I'm a little saddened. So it does have a bunch of Jedis and a bunch of sabers, and this will be interesting. Because I think I see a mace, I think I see a saber.
Qui-Gon. Definitely see the two sabers. See a blaster deflection.
And I think I see the Jedi.
Padme. And Scott has a lot of cards in his deck. So
Yeah.
just for frame of reference, the Court of the Vile Gangster is, I shall enjoy watching you die. While this side up, once during each of your deploy phases, may deploy Sarlacc, Rancor, or Rancor Pit from reserve deck, reshuffle. Captives targeted by Trapdoor are immediately relocated to Rancor Pit, do not draw Destiny, and Trapdoor may not be canceled. Opponent
All
loses
right.
force equal to forfeit value of each opponent's characters eaten by Rancor or Sarlacc. Place that character out of play. So you don't retrieve, they lose.
Ah. All right.
And then you have to flip this card if you have no if you have no captives at Tatooine sites and opponent has no characters at the same site as Rancor. So
I feel like Scott is probably not using any of that text.
I agree, considering it is in a fully opaque shield or sleeve. Now,
Yeah.
personally, I would really love to see design make a card to support the 7 side of the objective.
I would like design to make a card that just changes the 7 side. Like I would love to see Court re redone with the front side being functionally identical except for the flip condition,
Okay.
and the flip condition and the flip side being very different. I'm not a fan of creatures.
I
I'm
am.
not a fan of huge force loss like that you really can't, you
So
have to play around.
I do agree with that on the you lose their forfeit value. Like it's so easy to go hidden weapons on an LSJK, trapdoor him to the Rancor pit, Rancor eats the LSJK, and then you lose 9. That I
Yeah,
agree with.
like that would be my one kind of concern, is that ends up being really negative experience
Yeah.
quickly. So I'd rather see the flip side be something a little less negative, but at the same time, like I'm okay with just, Courts effectively, it's an effect. It's,
Yeah,
you're
so
not flipping
Scott
it. It is what it
Scott does
is.
not go down with any creatures to Tatooine, so he does have to lose a card. He loses Techmore off to the lost pile.
Which again, just, if in case we were questioning it, Scott is absolutely playing court musicians. Now the question is going to be, is Ryan going to go mace plus the saber to the audience chamber right away and try and aggressively push that? Ryan went and grabbed a system
Yeah,
with
he would
Yoda,
have he could do that. However, I don't necessarily like that because that takes up his entire turn. And we already saw him use one force to get the Camino site.
yep.
I mean, I kind of like the idea of Ryan just setting up. Okay, Scott plays.
Scott goes to get his gick.
Yeah,
Played the masterful move combo.
that's reasonable.
Yeah, that's if you're not facing celebration, and you're clearly not the way Ryan started this out,
Yeah.
you'd rather have the 5 in deck and the 1 in hand.
So, what are your thoughts on this matchup? Again, this is a matchup that I don't think anybody is really familiar with playing against. Like, are you familiar with Scott's musician deck at all?
So I played against Scott's musician deck at Worlds in the team tournament with an Luke Saga deck, and I lost by 2 or 3 force right at the end. in an extremely close game. And I think Ryan needed to go to the AC. Like
I agree.
I think Ryan needs to play it aggressively and put that pressure on. And I would have loved to see Mace to the AC. If Scott doesn't go hit him right away, you follow up with Qui-Gon to the AC. Like Scott's deck does not function well. The musicians are kind of garbage if you can't get Greeda into the AC. Yeah, losing the
Ryan
Hujix
loses
as
the
his
Vujix.
that was his one force he peeled to the court, and that is potentially big.
Oh yeah. Against his musician decks, like
Like,
Scott can quickly just overpower you with the power of these musicians. It's kind
yeah,
of absurd.
my game at Worlds, I Hujixed a battle, I retrieved the Hujix with Walkling, and I Hujixed another battle
That's insane.
because like that's the only thing you can do. Like you've got to just go through it. But Ryan's gonna have to go to the AC, and so next turn he's getting 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9,
He's getting a lot of force.
10, 11, 11 or 12. I mean, he's still not getting a lot, but I think he's got to go.
He's getting enough that it's not going to hurt him
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. Scott, however, holy moly.
Scott's
2, 3,
getting.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they're both kind of getting the same amount of force. The bigger issue is Scott has not gotten Scum Villainy out. Once
Yeah,
he gets that out and he's able to reduce the cost of all his little tiny itty bitty musicians,
although it looked like we had a scanner
wow.
tax in there, which is big for the forfeit not being increased.
Yeah, yeah.
Like suddenly greed is not nearly as good.
It's still
I mean, she's still
fairly good.
good, but she's not nearly as strong when your guy's forfeit is junk.
And it looks like Scott is not going to go down just yet. As he peels a card off the top, he loses a Dark Time for the Brilliant V.
I think
So
that's
Scott,
smart for Scott.
yeah, I agree. Getting
Like,
out just the HUD influence up your generation, getting out the docking bay, getting yourself up to 12. It looks like he's kind of digging at this point too.
I think he is. I think he probably saw that, yeah, his scum is in there and he needs to go get it.
Yeah, and that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to give another turn for Ryan now. Now, this is like I said, I think Ryan needs to go
Yeah.
2 dudes, 2 sabers, and try and just own the AC. Because if you lose the audience chamber, I don't know that Scott's deck can function without scum in the audience chamber. And if you can keep him out of it and keep killing enough guys that Scott's not steady retrieving them,
Yeah. And
that's
I
going to be
think
rough.
Scott, but the thing is, like, Scott is just going to send waves and waves of guys down to the audience chamber to try and take it back. And
He's gonna, but that takes a bunch of force. He's going to lose multiple guys every turn when he's doing that. And he's got to be scared of the rebeat. Like if he comes down with a bunch of guys, but Ryan's able to survive it and kill 2 or 3 guys and then come back, that's what Scott's got to worry about. Like
yeah,
Scott can potentially do nasty things on his turn, but he's got to worry about what happens if Ryan comes back. So we
okay,
see
there's
Ryan
the,
grab the 3-2.
yeah, I don't mind
So,
that. Now, I just worry that we might see him decide to go down and put somebody there like a Mace or a Qui-Gon. I think that would be a huge misplay, as you've said.
yeah, I think he needs to take the AC. I think that his win here is take the AC. I think get some space down enough to, I'd like to see space at Camino, but I think that's a next turn thing. I think this
And it
turn
looks like
needs
we
to
are going to
be,
see Mace Windu come down. Oh, Mace
yep.
is going to the 3-2. And there is a
You
jet
know,
with Saber.
I don't hate that actually. I think I would have preferred to see him take the AC. I like the idea of force that battle action, especially with the scanner techs. But going to the AC, going to the 3-2,
Just send
frankly,
people down the hole.
this musician's deck isn't that good if it turns into a drain race.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, hitting a musician that if they go to the 3-2 there, the Gok War Beast doesn't protect you from sending them down to the use pile.
No, they're just going to go used, and so Scott's got to come down with enough guys to keep all of that alive. Which
Yeah.
is, again, that's what I'm talking about. Where Scott's got to be ready for not just deliver the beat, but can he survive? Keep enough guys surviving so the rebeat isn't a problem.
Apparently, and so first two rounds we've seen two Brian versus Brian matchups. This one is Brian Harold versus Brian Fred. I know that Brian Harold doesn't like to be on stream, but holy crap, I would love to be a fly on the wall watching that match.
That would be a fun. That would be a fun match. I mean, Brian Fred and Brian Harold are just good guys. Like at the end of the day, like they're just good guys. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
So we see
And
the
just a little bit of information.
changing the odds to put something out of play.
Let's
Oh,
go.
and it's ceasefire, which is very good
That's a
for.
big one.
That's a big hit.
That is a huge hit.
And we see
Being
the
able
scum
to
in reserve.
Yeah. Like that's not good for Scott at all.
I assume Scott's running 2 scums.
You would think.
So I can't envision playing that deck without 2 scums. I do see that Scott had to grab that changing. I think he was just worried, he didn't need to see that keep getting played. Like I know we saw a bunch of that with Brian Fred and was that Endor.
Yeah.
Fred played that a few times and it was like, oh, that's an interesting. So there's Greta, there's Scum. Where is he going? What else
Just
are
as
we
a
doing
quick
here?
update, so far, looking at the top tables, if you're counting at home, Drew Lichtenstein and Matt Harrison Trainer, it looks like they both lost game one.
Wow. That's an unexpected.
Brian Harold and B. Fred also lost game one. And I'm not sure about Sam Toshima, but it is possible because he's at table 12.
I mean, Dennis is at table 11 and we know he won.
Yeah,
So, like, I think you're right about MHT and Drew. I don't think there's any way they're at table
they
18
are.
without
Well, yeah, because they
having
unfortunately they are
lost.
at table 18.
But some of the other ones, it could be a weird, the sides just went funny.
Yeah, I could see it.
So I like Scott just going, all right, well, you're going to go there. I'm going to try and spread and make stuff happen. And let's see Ryan's response. We know he's got an R2 and red 5 in hand and could certainly go after Zuckus right away. Scott's just loading. There's Proxima with Akrev and Greta. I don't hate Scott's play here. Like, just go quick and
Yeah,
Scott
I
saves
like him going
no
down
force.
to the because even if Ryan has like Luke Skywalker, Rebel or Rebels hero, I mean, he's not going to be able to add a Destiny of Power. It would have to be a Destiny of Attrition.
So here's my lone concern. Scott has 0 force saved. Oh, there, never
He's
mind. He
got
can
one.
activate 1. Yeah,
Yeah, come on, Power of the Hut.
I forgot about Power of the Hut. I'm like, he has no force save to draw their fire.
Oh man,
Knocks that Gick out and would be ugly.
yeah,
Power of
I
the
get
Hut's a new
that.
card. I
It's
don't
a new
remember new
card. You
cards all
should
the
know
time.
better. Okay, there goes Jabba and another card. I don't know what he lost.
And he just, I'm a little surprised. I guess Scott's shield busted. Scott's could
Yes,
not
Scott
play
is
battle
currently
order,
shield
which
busted.
is interesting that I guess he went
Yeah,
with
that's a good
Zuckus
card.
just to
Yeah,
set
Tatooine
the.
Maul would be really big.
Yeah, Tatooine Maul is great for with Scum. You stick him on Zuckus and Mist Hunter, and suddenly he's an independent starship pilot, and you can hide him.
Yeah, and
I think
it's
you got
great.
to get that 2/2 out of there if I'm Ryan.
Yeah, Like I, for
Those are
one, I think
not good looking destinies, though.
yeah, the last time I played at Worlds, which was back in 2022, I played a CCT deck that had Tatooine Maul in it, and it's just so good.
Yeah, Tatooine Mall's outstanding card.
Yeah. Unfortunately, of
So
course, like the first round I played against, the first time I played with that deck, I played against Ryan Sersen, who helped me build the deck. So he knew exactly what to do.
I mean, Ryan usually kind of knows what to do. Like Ryan's a good player.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm a, I am a little surprised to see that Ryan isn't going with his bread and butter, which is, of course, Y40. Dude likes to play Y40 a lot, and maybe he just wanted something different.
all right. So who's six? Are we going to come down on P59 here?
Nope, we're going down against Zuckus and Miss Zuckus Forlom Miss Hunter
Yep.
combo.
All right. I don't hate that. I'd like to
I don't hate it
see
either.
somebody with it a little bit. Although I guess you just take the destiny to attrition and go, all right, between the two draws, I'm going to kill you. And unless you draw six, Luke's staying alive.
Staying alive, staying alive.
Luke is a BG. Let's see where this goes. Yep, Ryan's going to deploy. I think you might see a Qui-Gon here. I actually wouldn't hate seeing Qui-Gon in front of P59. Like, yeah,
Yeah, I like the Qui-Gon against P59. I mean,
yeah.
it does make a little bit of sense.
Make Scott have an answer for that because
That's
that's
famous
not a good
words from
spot.
our good buddy Batmouse. Speaking of Batmouse, if you are interested in participating in the eighth iteration of the Batmouse Gem PC, signups are currently going on right now. It is a free event. All you got to do is go onto the forums, look for the Gem PC topic, sign up. Again, it is free. Join one of the 80 some players who have signed up already, and
Yeah,
support your local Batmouse.
I think it was 81 last I checked, which is
83.
oh, it's up to 83 now. That's
It is. I have not updated the list just yet, only because I'm doing this.
that seems reasonable enough. Like I'm
Oh, yeah,
looking forward to. I like the match play format. I enjoy the game PC for what it is.
I don't.
You know, I'm usually out after round two or so, but I
Yeah,
have fun.
same.
So all
I
right,
mean,
so we see Ryan kind of prepping for he's got the blaster deflection in case Scott does something funny with a shot. And
I'd be
looks
severely
like it was
surprised to see if Scott has a 7 in his deck.
yeah, like I think the blaster,
Swings.
honestly, I think the blaster deflection, you might be better
Ooh, that
served
is
just
a
letting him
miss right now.
3 and a 1.
Yeah, he does have
He
the
does have
Jedi
the Jedi
levitation.
Lev. Looks like he might just say that's fine. I missed. You're
Yeah,
probably not necessarily doing a ton of overflow.
draws a 3.
Although,
P59 is immune.
no, because he's plus to the total battle destiny.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's
because
right.
that
That's right.
actually
That's
would
right.
be the other reason you Jedi Lev, because then you're adding one more weapon destiny
Yeah.
to the Qui-Gon.
I mean, base stats, he would have been immune.
Yeah.
Just saying.
If you pretend those other cards don't exist, he'd have been immune. I see where you're going with this. Um, Now, though, that means Ryan's got to think a little bit about if he battles in space
Yeah.
because he just had to use the Yoda's Hut text because Scott
Yeah.
did spin a 4, so
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
now
That's
you
a
got to
very good point.
decide because if you battle there and he turns a
Yep.
4, you might not want you might yeah.
And Ryan does run away to live another day.
I don't hate that play.
I don't. I like running away, even though it does give it the drain of 2 there. Uh, I mean, if you're Ryan, you're draining for 4 to Scott's 3.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate that. You're gonna, yeah, you pull 3PO here, and you just lose the where you looking for me.
Yep.
So it's not that bad. And the fact that he has Qui-Gon down at Tatooine, that does save him essentially at Force for a little bit. So I mean, Ryan's in a pretty solid spot.
Yeah, I think Ryan's fine where he is right now. I'm not worried about
And
Ryan's.
ooh, I like getting the Erica out for Scott, being that Luke is on the table up in space.
Although, is he going with Erica, or did he keep Bearquin? I think he
So
went
I
kept
think he
Erica.
went with Erica. He left the Bergwin and the red card together, and he took
Yeah,
looked like he took the Erica into hand.
that's
I
what I
could be
saw
wrong.
too. So
I regularly am wrong.
no, that's kind of what it looked like too. I just wanted to make sure.
Scott's
So
going to force push.
I will say, I think I would have liked to see Ryan retrieve that Hujix.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
would have liked to see him walkling for that Hujix because
And it's
I feel like Scott's just setting up a guess who's going to go jump Qui-Gon.
a bunch of musicians.
I feel like there may be some musically inclined folks going after him, although throwing Erica down and waiting for a turn wouldn't be the worst thing ever either.
No, getting that force retrieval once a turn would look pretty good. Okay, and there
Yeah.
we go with the drains.
I mean, he's got to do something because the ping's a little worse. So paying one for
Led me.
Lin Me.
I think that's what who she is. And again,
Yep.
this is gonna unfortunately this is a deck where I'm just like, man, I have to know what all these I don't know what half the cards of Scott
Lin Me
does.
is really good against Luke and Han. And I think extra good with Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Where? There's the blast door controls, just in case Ryan was sitting on a barrier, which he
He might
probably
be.
was. That barrier is a good card, I heard. Lots of people
Yeah.
play it.
So let's see. Lin Me subtracts one from the deploy cost of bounty hunters at same site. Boba Fett deploys for free. During battle, subtracts X from opponent's total power, where X equals the number of your musicians present, +2 if battling Luke or Han, +4 if both.
See?
Yeah, that's one
And
small part of her game text. And here
and
we
Scott just
go.
put down four
Musician after
cards for one
musician after
force.
musician. And
Uh,
or sing with gun.
Scott put down like 6 characters for 2 force total, 3 force maybe.
How
That's
abusive is that? Just like looking at Scott coming down with all of that. It's
and there's the Erica. So
Erica inside. I like that.
yeah, I was gonna say I thought he put her at Carcoon for a minute. I'm like, I think I would have put Erica at the audience chamber just to keep her alive.
Yeah,
And
I think
now
he's
he
the
moved
he's
her
been like
over.
Scott's like, I don't know what. Okay, Greedo. I don't mind the Greedo.
Okay, yep.
Ryan has a bunch of cards left, and he's just dumping his hand. Like
Oh, good golly. And there's that
8.
guy adds to the cost of doing something.
That's Tech Moore, I
No,
believe.
that's Lynn Karen. Techmore's Destiny 6. That's Lynn Karen. Or Learn Karen. He adds to some sort of cost. Good look at.
Learn Karin. For each
Yep.
other musician present, adds a cover charge of 1 to the force required to move or deploy each character to the same site. So, yeah,
So for Scott to start deploying there, to cost him 112. We do
minus,
see Erica get hit, which I don't. This is part of why I think I would have liked Erica at the other site.
yeah, I agree. Erica should not have gone to.
Like, but Scott may just be going for the beatdown. Like the Hujix is gone.
That's a good point.
This might
That is
just
a
be
good, very good point. Draws
Erica's
a
4 power.
3, draws a 4, and Scott has to do math.
Okay, so did Scott not swing with
I don't think he did.
or did I miss the I was like I didn't see a swing.
I don't think he did because
Because
I mean
that
he might
Erica
have.
would have been huge. Like the forfeit 0 would have been huge.
Yeah. Blaster deflection was played. Thank you.
Okay, it was perfect.
Thank you, chat.
That's the one downside of the live things is if you're not immediately seeing everything, if you miss it for a second because you're looking at something else, like you can't check in the chat log
Yeah.
of Gamp and be like, oh, what did we do?
Yeah, like having to look up a card to see what it does for Scott, and Ryan just scoops.
Honestly, Scott probably had 40 power there.
Yeah, looking at the Comlink app, just like to
And
read a musician. Holy crap! Let's get Scott on the interview.
yeah,
Wow.
Ryan, I mean, Scott probably had 40 power there, and Ryan was like, after it
Uh,
all went done, Ryan's like, well, I'm going to peel 20. There's no way I'm coming back from this. And that's it.
wow.
That's, that's what musicians do. They do dirty things. That
And
was,
and the thing is, like Scott has been playing this deck for so long, he knows what to do. But
yeah,
like, how frustrating for
honestly,
Ryan knowing that you're in a good spot, losing the Hujix, like you said.
losing the
He,
Hujix hurt. I think that P59 was a trap for Scott. I think Scott knew exactly. He's like, I'll put out P59. I've got the Gick. What I want to do is get Ryan to come to Tatooine.
yeah.
And the moment you get Ryan to Tatooine, Scott just giggled like a, kid at Christmas, like, all right, now it's over.
I wonder,
And
I want you to ask him that to see if he actually did giggle a little inside.
if he was
Because
a little
if he
excited,
did, that is just amazing. And I
you just
love.
want the mental image of Scott just, giggling as P59,
So I
as
know
Qui-Gon jumped
that
in front of P59.
so I know that both Scott and Ryan are part of the Mind What You Have Learned Club to Get Tested Club. Do you think Scott has started up his own little like the musician club? And if so, what do you think it's called?
Honestly, I don't think Scott's a club starter. I think Scott is so much more about
He's a
just
soccer
playing with
fan.
everybody. Yeah, but I think Scott's more of a, include everybody, hang out with everybody. Jane Happ. Scott's main reason was to make sure the headsets were charged. And now he gets to talk on one.
Thank you for subscribing, Garrett or Jared. Yes, Jared are one of our. He's currently at 36 months for his Twitch subscription. Twitch subscribing to Twitch is a really good way to get involved to help out the PC. All your donations via Twitch go back into everything that the PC does, and you'll get yourself a really cool foil at each milestone. I believe if Jared subscribes for one more month, he will hit a that'll be what, 3 years?
That
That's
will
insane.
be. And that's there's some cool ones. Like I was pretty happy last month I hit a year. So I'm sure the next magic box from Jane App is going to be full of fun stuff. It'll probably be slow because I make fun of Jane App and I know my name gets shoved to the bottom of the stuff getting shipped to list, and I
Well, I
accept that.
mean, I actually the fact that you normally wear a hat and you're not wearing one, like I feel like that is a bonus. So maybe he's
Honestly, I just forgot it. I meant to grab it and I came downstairs and started, and I'm like, oh, I didn't grab a hat and I didn't really want to go up and get it. So I
so
don't have a hat right
laziness
now.
prevails.
Probably a little bit. And honestly, like I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to miss out on the next game. My wife just left to take my youngest to the bus for their hockey game, and then when she gets home, I'm gonna have to bounce for a little bit and go watch my kid play hockey and sit in front of people shooting pucks at them, and then I'll be
That's fair.
back.
I mean, that is the Minnesota way. Just watch your kids be shot at with pucks.
I mean, my kids are hockey and lacrosse goalies because they make poor life choices. So 36 months, don't you get to raid the storage unit? Yeah, that
I
would be
think
nice.
that's the 10 year.
Probably. I mean, at 10 year, I think Sam's only a few months away from that. I know Yoshi's been, Yoshi's always in there. Now you got me curious. Let's see if I can go look. And yeah,
Yeah,
so
actually,
it's
that's a good point.
the
I would
Shadow
love to
Collective
see
foil.
where everybody is on their Twitch subscription. Like, who's the highest? I know Jared is in the chat. I'm assuming that he has some record somewhere on his MacBook.
Oh, I'm sure he
Sam
does.
and Sersen are the only 54 monthers.
Okay. So
Dylan is at 48 months, so that's impressive. Uh,
Dylan just hit that 48 month. So 48 is 4 years. That's a that's a fancy foil for him as well, I believe.
yeah.
Um, trying to find it on the here we go. Twitch subscription incentive program. Yeah, the Prime auto renewing is I've missed a few as well. And like I think
Same.
I subscribed a long time ago and then kind of forgot about it. And so
So it
40,
looks like
48 months we get zero. So
now is that
both
just the front side or
foil,
the both sides?
it's both. It says 0R/Liberathan of Lothal. So
Okay.
I think he's got them
Now, is that for those
both
who do
coming.
know, Jared, is there a way for someone to know what month they are in?
Renew your subscription.
Well, my subscription is automatic,
Oh well.
and it's not via Amazon. I actually pay
Okay.
because
I
I've
thought yours
lost
just
months.
popped
I
up.
also
You're
have
at
lost months
53.
before, so
You're
but
at
yeah, it's just a regular
53. So
switch.
you are 1 month away from the Hunt for the Droid General foil. Basically,
Subscription.
your next month,
Oh, I'm at 54. I'm at 53.
you'll be able to play Hayes's Outrider Cup deck.
Yeah.
1 more month. You can just get it ready for it. You can have it for Indiana.
Yeah. So I'm at 53. My current streak is 3 months. So obviously, I have definitely missed one. So I'm 1 month behind Sam, Ryan, and David Woods.
Yep.
That's
I'm
not
at
bad.
13 months
I'm
because
not
I'm well
complaining.
behind. So, but 13 months does mean, yeah. So my next fancy box will have I want that map,
Dan,
which
you
is
should
nice
take on
because I've
submissions.
played some map. I'm a little surprised there's only one map deck in the event today. I sort of expected more because I think it's a solid deck.
I'm going to
So,
send this to Jared just to prove that I'm at 53.
up.
And Jared's like,
I think when you do that though, you have to let marketing know, hey, I hit this month. So maybe you just haven't been following up with marketing as well. Jared's gonna have a whole bunch of things to send you. That is what
I
it is.
know.
So we see, I'm just kind of looking at the archetypes spreadsheet a little bit. There's some fun decks out there.
Yeah.
There's two ASMs, two stunning move, the Grievous objectives. Jared, yep, I know when people tell me what they're at. That's what we go off.
Yeah.
So looks like two hunt downs, one virtual, one non-vert. Oh no, excuse me, there's a hunt dow and destroy the Jedi and a hunt down and destroy the Jedi. So, well, we have two hunt downs and then a hunt down. I thought maybe one was V, and I'm like, nope, hunt down V, Inquisitors. I'm wondering how else you play hunt down V. Like, you want to do it a bounty
That's a
hunters
good
go
question.
nuts, but so two entanglement stacks. That's kind of interesting to me.
Two entanglements. Yeah.
That's
I'm a little
just kind of
surprised to see
looking
a
at stuff.
lot of the number of Agents of Black Sun decks as we do, being that
I'm not because that's a really good deck.
it is a good deck, but how many hunt down or hit codes are there?
So if you're ready for Hitco, agents can be real rough. Like if
But
you
I'm not
have the
surprised to
good
see that.
capture stuff, you're way ahead of Hitco if you can capture
True.
Luke.
So I'm not surprised to see that it's the players who are playing the Imperial entanglements are what they're playing, like who's playing those
Yeah.
decks. Because holy crap, I kind of have an idea of what those decks do.
Two Echo Base operations is a little interesting as well. Like Echo Base operations is one of those decks that just kind of, you know exactly what it is, you know exactly what it's going to do. So we'll see where.
That's a good point. Thank you. Yeah, I agree that Hitco is a rough matchup, but I really want to see it just because, again, who is
Oh
playing?
yeah, Hitco.
Hitco's a bad
Hitco
matchup
can
for a
be.
lot of stuff.
Hitco's really good, but especially with some of the stuff that's in those Hitcos, like Endor Celebration, canceling the retrieval, like or canceling the reacts, like Hitco. I think actually I watched Rebel CPA and Chris Goglin play a Hitco
Yeah,
versus, and he got two, I think, different beatdowns where Goglin had to peel overflow, and Goglin still won the game. Like he peeled, I want to say 10 or 12 in overflow total between a couple battles, and still held out to win. Looks like we get Scott and Ryan. Yeah, that's what I said. I thought it was you and Gogolin playing. I watched it on Gemp. So,
So it looks like they
oh, you
both
timed
are
out?
leaving.
Okay.
So Scott left the room. So Scott has left the room. He has left the building, everybody. Just as a quick update, I just got off the Slack with Chris Schultz also. There will be a lunch break but after game 3, it will be a 30-minute break. So at that point, we'll do some we'll have Garrett entertain everybody.
Probably not. Odds are Garrett won't be Garrett. That'll probably be Garrett catching the end of his kid's game. My guess is I'll probably miss game 3, and then hopefully I'll be back in time for game 4. We'll see how that works. It'll be close if I can make it back or not.
Yeah,
So
that is a fair point. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna hold it against you for wanting to go see your kids be
yeah, I
put
mean
some pucks to the.
I missed their game on Thursday. I was out of town and doing Hall Theater, so kind of
And we do
gotta
appreciate you for doing Holo Theater.
gotta get to the games I can when I'm in town. So we'll get there for that. But I think I'm gonna log out here for a little bit. So, because I'm gonna be picked up here in a couple minutes, and we'll be ready to rock. And I will shoot you a message when I'm on my way back, and we'll get into the next game. So,
Sounds good.
all
Again,
right,
game 3 will be coming up shortly. Everybody stay tuned, and we'll see everybody here shortly.